Hello and welcome. In a world teetering on a knife's edge, the last few days have been a whirlwind of military maneuvers and high-stakes diplomacy. From the Middle East to the shores of Europe and across Asia, the pieces on the global chessboard are moving fast, and we're here to break down what it all means. First, let's turn our attention to the Eastern Mediterranean, where the USS Gerald R, the world's most advanced aircraft carrier, has just arrived. This isn't just a routine deployment. Think of it as America's 100,000-ton message to the world. With tensions simmering between Iran, Israel, and with Russia maintaining a strong presence in Syria, the Ford's arrival is a calculated display of power. It's Washington's way of saying, "We're watching, and we can act at a moment's notice." This floating fortress dramatically boosts the USS ability to respond to any crisis, serving as both a reassurance to its allies and a stark warning to its adversaries. It's a classic example of gunboat diplomacy, 21st century style, reminding everyone that in geopolitics, raw military power is still the ultimate currency. Meanwhile, a flicker of hope has emerged from the tragic conflict in Gaza. Hamas has delivered its official response to an international peace proposal. This response reportedly includes a willingness to release hostages and, perhaps most significantly, to transfer the administration of Gaza to an independent Palestinian authority. Now, let's be clear, this is not a peace treaty. Hostilities haven't ended, and the path forward is fraught with obstacles. But it is a crucial step, a sign that dialogue, however fragile, is not completely off the table. At the same time, reports of internal clashes within Gaza underscore the complexity of the situation on the ground. The region remains a tinderbox, but for the first time in a while, the language of negotiation is being spoken. It's a small crack of light in a very dark tunnel, showing that diplomacy, even in the most bitter of conflicts, still has a fighting chance. Moving north, Turkey has drawn a firm red line in the sand regarding the future of Syria. President Recep Tayyip Erdogan has made it unequivocally clear that Turkey will not stand for any plan that could lead to the division of the country. He specifically rejected proposals to integrate certain armed groups into the official Syrian state structure, emphasizing his government's commitment to a political solution, not a military one. This powerful statement highlights Ankara's pivotal role in the Syrian endgame. Turkey isn't just a neighbor. It's a major power player with the influence to shape the final political settlement. Erdogan's words are a clear message to all parties involved. Any future for Syria must have Turkey's approval. But the tensions aren't confined to the Middle East. Let's shift our focus to South Asia, where the long-simmering rivalry between India and Pakistan has once again flared up. India has claimed to have shot down several Pakistani aircraft in a series of incidents along their heavily fortified and contested border. These events are a chilling reminder of how quickly this volatile region can escalate. We're talking about two nuclear-armed neighbors, where any military clash, no matter how small, carries the risk of spiraling into a much larger conflict. The world watches with bated breath, hoping that cooler heads will prevail. And thousands of miles away, in the Pacific, another nation is preparing for a new era of strategic competition. Australia has just announced the most sweeping reforms to its military in decades. The goal, to counter what Canberra sees as growing risks in the Indo-Pacific, with a clear, though often unstated, focus on China's expanding military and economic influence. This isn't just about buying more ships or planes. It's a fundamental shift in defense posture, preparing for a future defined by new threats from long-range precision missiles to sophisticated cyber and space-based warfare. Australia's move is a perfect example of a global trend. Nations everywhere are waking up to the reality that the nature of conflict is changing, and they need to adapt fast. Back in the Middle East, a story has emerged that reads like a Cold War spy novel. Newly declassified documents in Israel are shedding new light on one of history's most enigmatic figures, Ashraf Marwan. An Egyptian billionaire and son-in-law to a former president, Marwan is long rumored to have been a double agent, allegedly passing critical intelligence to Israel before the surprise attack that launched the 1973 Yom Kippur War. These new documents are reigniting old debates about his true allegiance. Was he a patriot, a traitor, or a brilliant operator playing both sides? While we can't change the past, this story is a fascinating reminder of how the secret world of espionage and intelligence can dramatically shape the course of history, and how those secrets continue to influence strategic thinking even today. Now, let's head to Europe, where a very modern and mysterious threat is causing chaos in the skies. Unidentified drones have been repeatedly disrupting air traffic at major airports in several countries, including Germany. The incidents have become so frequent that Denmark has taken the drastic step of banning all civilian drone flights. European leaders are now seriously discussing the creation of a continent-wide drone wall, a layered air defense system designed to detect and intercept these unmanned aerial vehicles. The big fear is that these aren't just hobbyists causing trouble. There's growing suspicion that a foreign power, with many fingers pointing towards Russia, could be behind these disruptions, testing NATO's defenses and probing for weaknesses in critical infrastructure. This raises a crucial question. How do you respond to an attack that paralyzes your country without a single shot being fired? Adding to this sense of unease, the United Kingdom has publicly accused Moscow of interfering with its satellites. This alleged interference, targeting military and civilian communications, brings the conflict into a new domain, space. Whether these claims are fully proven or not, they highlight a terrifying new reality. Modern warfare is no longer confined to land, sea, or air. The battleground has expanded into the invisible realms of cyberspace and outer space. Military strategists are scrambling to rewrite their playbooks to deal with threats that can disable a nation's communication grid, cripple its economy, or blind its defense systems, all without a physical confrontation. The era of invisible warfare is here. So, what does all of this mean when we put it together? We see a world at a critical crossroads. From the carrier strike group in the Mediterranean to the drone swarms over Europe, from the simmering border in South Asia to the silent war in cyberspace, the signs are unmistakable. Nations are actively preparing for scenarios that, just a decade ago, might have seemed like science fiction. Aircraft carriers, spy revelations, satellite jamming, and diplomatic gambles are all pieces of a new, incredibly complex global puzzle. The ultimate question remains, will the coming years be defined by confrontation and conflict, or can diplomacy and restraint pull us back from the brink? What is certain is that power, whether it's displayed through a massive warship or wielded invisibly through a keyboard, remains the ultimate tool of influence on the world stage. And as today's headlines so starkly remind us, the line between a fragile peace and all-out conflict has become dangerously thin. Thank you so much for watching. If you found this breakdown helpful, please hit that like button, subscribe to our channel, and ring the bell so you never miss an update.